Zhuangzi's Fables and Their Wisdom. Module 4, On Pursuit. Lesson 5, Searching for Dao. Fable 1. Dao is in shit and piss.
I am a follower of Lao Tzu, and I believe in Taoism. Many people come to ask me what Dao is and where we can find Dao.
Master Dongguo is visiting you. He's waiting outside.
So, here comes another one. Let me go and meet him.
You are a great master of Dao. May I ask, where is Dao?
Dao is everywhere.
That answer doesn't make sense. You should give me a specific example.
Dao is this ant.
Why is Dao such a grand thing in such a lowly animal?
Dao is in the weeds.
Are you serious? The weeds are even inferior to the ant.
Dao is in the bricks.
What? This must be the lowest point that Dao exists.
Dao is in shit and piss too. Your question misses the point. When Inspector Hua asked how to know whether a pig is fat or not, the supervisor of the market replied by telling him to tread on the lowest part of the pig, that is, the feet. If the feet were fat, the whole pig must be fat. You presuppose that Dao is hidden in a grand place, but what you don't know is that Dao is everywhere, including the lowly places.
For Zhuangzi, Dao is everywhere. It is even in shit and piss. To defend his point, Zhuangzi uses a very interesting analogy. To know whether a pig is fat or not, just tread to the lowest point, the feet. If the feet of the pig are fat, then it must be truly fat. If Dao exists in the lowliest things, it must be everywhere. There is another intriguing story that alludes to our fable here. During the late Qing dynasty, leading statesman, general and diplomat Li Hongzhuang was a founder of the self-strengthening movement, and he was very keen on learning modern knowledge. One day he asked one of his men, "What is a parabola?" The man tried to explain, but found it hard. Then all of a sudden an idea occurred to him, so he said, "Sir, do you piss? When you piss upwards, the urine goes like a parabola." Hearing this, Li Hongzhuang laughed and said, "So Dao is in shit and piss." Fable 2, Wheelwright Bian on Making Wheels.
In our world, most people believe that Dao exists in books. However, books are written with words. Words are nothing but carriers of meaning. Meaning comes from its reference. Reference is often beyond words. So people value words and put them into books, but what people value may not be so valuable. On our way to Dao, seeing and hearing sometimes can be deceiving. Words sometimes can be misleading. Those who speak may not know Dao, and those who know Dao may not speak.
Oh, Master, I'm a little confused.
Don't you worry. I'll tell you the story of Wheelwright Bian. One day, Du Quan was reading a book up in his hall while Wheelwright Bian was making a wheel down in the courtyard. When he saw Du Quan reading, he put down his chisel and hammer and went up to the hall. "May I ask whose book you are reading?"
It is a classic written by a sage.
Is the sage still alive?
No, he is long dead.
Then, sir, what you are reading now is nothing but rubbish left by a dead man.
When a duke is reading, how dare a wheelwright make any comments? Today, if you can explain, fine. If you can't, you will die.
Sir, let me try to explain. I am a wheelwright, and this is how I see it. When I was making the wheel, if I chisel fast, the wood will be so smooth that the parts cannot come together tightly. But if I chisel slowly, the wood will be so rough that the parts cannot even come together. So, the secret of a good wheel is to use your chisel neither slow nor fast. You have that pace in your mind, and your hands can do what your mind wishes, the work can be done perfectly. I have that pace in my mind, but it's hard to explain what exactly the pace is. I can't even explain it to my son. So I am in my 70s, but I still have to make wheels by myself. In the same way, the wisdom of the sage is also in his mind, but beyond words. Therefore, what you are reading is nothing but rubbish left by the sage.
This fable is adapted from the 13th chapter of Zhuangzi's Heaven's Tao, in which the wheelwright Bian told us that the secret of making a good wheel is only in his mind, but beyond words. What Zhuangzi wants to convey through the mouth of Bian is first, Tao is everywhere, including wheel-making, and can be perceived by man. Second, Tao is often beyond words, so you have to understand it through your personal practice. The secret of Tao cannot be passed even through fathers and sons. Third, words are merely carriers of meaning, so meaning may get lost during the process of writing or reading. Sometimes the meaning may even get totally lost due to various reasons, such as in the case of the burning books by Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor in China. One more interesting thing about the fable is that it is also the source of the idiom, the hands are able to do what the mind wishes, or in Chinese, 得神应说. Can you spot where it appears in the fable? Fable 3, Fasting of the Heart.
King of Wei was a ruthless dictator. He forced his people to labor. Many died, but he demonstrated a chilling disregard for his people's suffering. When Yan Hui heard of that, he decided to go there to persuade the king. Before he went, he tried to ask for some advice from his teacher, Confucius.
Where are you going, Hui?
I am going to the state of Wei.
For what?
I heard that the king of Wei was a cruel young man, a tyrant who had scant regards for his country and his people. So many died that the bodies lie across the country like hay in a field. I remember your words. We live in a state that is well governed, but go to one that is in turmoil. That's why I want to go there, to see if I can be of any help.
But Confucius was in disapproval. He knew that many people, in order to gain a good name or to show their wisdom, had tried to admonish the tyrant kings, but put themselves to an end. Even the kind-hearted, virtuous ones had been mistaken as bearing a utilitarian purpose and got harmed.
I am worried that you may also get killed. Do you have a plan?
What about inner modesty plus outer dignity? I will work hard and bear in mind my good intention.
It wouldn't work.
What about inner honesty plus outer deception? be a natural son of heaven like the king, but behave like his subject.
I wouldn't do either.
Well, that is the best I can offer. Will you, Master, give me your suggestion?
You should first fast, then I will tell you.
Hui's family is poor. I haven't drunk wine or eaten meat for months. Can it be counted as a fast?
That's fasting for sacrifice, not fasting of the heart.
What is fasting of the heart?
The goal of fasting is inner unity. This means hearing first with your ear, further with your heart, ultimately with your soul. Ears can only hear the sound. Heart can hear the truth, but with your soul, you have the psychological emptiness so you can hear everything, which leads you to the way, or Dao. The whole process is known as fasting of the heart.
Before I heard your words, I was aware of myself when I was fasting. Now I feel my self-awareness begins to vanish. Is this what you call psychological emptiness?
Precisely. You may go to the state of Wei now.
In this fable, Zhuangzi explains a way to understand Tao. Fasting of the heart. Only through psychological emptiness you can perceive Tao. There are numerous followers of Taoism, both at home and abroad. For beginners, it's really hard to understand Tao and practice it. The fables in this lesson not only tell us where Tao is, how to understand Tao, but also show us a way to practice it. Fasting of the heart. Just imagine, in the vast nature, there is a rock on top of a hill, and you are lying on the rock. You need to first hear with your ears, further with your heart, ultimately with your soul. Then your ears hear the sound, your heart hears the truth, and your soul, with the psychological emptiness, hears Tao. In Zhuangzi's text, there is another way to practice Tao, which is known as sitting and forgetting, or Zhuowang. By practicing fasting of the heart and Zhuowang, we forget what we hold most dearly, self. Both of them are treated as ways of meditation that are instrumental to efficacious action and a good life.